Hello, welcome back. This is section 4.3, Sedimentary Rocks. Our aim for today is to describe the formation and characteristics of sedimentary rocks. So what are sedimentary rocks? These are rocks that form directly from accumulated sediments that are deposited near Earth's surface. So accumulated means sediments, which are pieces of other rock that have built up on Earth's surface. So how does sedimentary rocks form? Where does this accumulated sediment come from? So sediments that also can be called clasts that have weathered and eroded from larger rocks. So larger rocks over time are eroded, weathered, broken down, and as you can see in this picture here on the bottom, if a river is entering a larger body of water, it brings with it the sediment that accumulates and allows it to layer up over time at the bottom of a large body of water. And you end up with these horizontal layers as the sediment comes into the body of water. So what are the processes that form sedimentary rock? The process words are really important for each type of rock. So for sedimentary, we have our two C words for processes, and the first one is compaction, and this is when sediments are compressed and compacted together. As they pile up on top of each other, the weight of the sediment pushes it down further and compacts it more. And the other process word for sedimentary rocks is cementation. Cementation, you can see the word cement in here. Okay, this is when the sediments are cemented together. So you need some form of glue, in quotes, to hold together the sediments, the pieces that have been compacted together. They don't just hold themselves together. So this glue is usually in the form of a mineral that has dissolved and then resolidified in between the pieces of the sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks can form a few different ways. One of the ways is by chemical action. And chemical action is generally either from evaporation or precipitation of minerals. And you can think about this as if you're making a cup of or a pitcher of iced tea and you're adding in the sugar. If you add too much sugar, the water becomes oversaturated and the extra stuff will settle to the bottom. That would be similar to precipitation, where you have this the leftover iced tea mix that was too much for the water to hold sitting on the bottom. That's what is called precipitation, and that happens with minerals in water as well. Evaporation would be the way that you form salt. If you have a large body of salt water and the water evaporates, the salt is left behind. So these are the two types of chemical action that could create chemical sedimentary rocks. Okay, the next type of sedimentary rock are ones that are formed by organic processes. And as you recall, organic means that something that was alive or comes from something that was alive. So the rock is made up of pieces, typically of shells, plant materials, or other previously living organisms. Land-derived sedimentary rocks are ones that are formed from pieces of other rock. And the two words that are for these pieces are clastic or fragmental. Both of these describe the pieces of other rock that land-derived sedimentary rocks come from. So they're made of solid sediments like sand in sandstone, and the sand is compacted and then cemented together with a mineral cement. And we classify land-derived sedimentary rocks based on their particle size, based on how big those pieces are within the rock. Okay, chemical or organic are the main class, are one of the classifications, one of the groups. And crystalline is one of the textures, and these are how we describe evaporites, rocks that have been formed by evaporated minerals. And these are monomineralic, which we used that term previously, and it means that it's made from one mineral. Okay, so rock salt is an example of this, and it's made of halite when salt water has evaporated and left the mineral behind. And we identify this type of rock like a mineral. Okay, bioclastic are rocks that are sedimentary rocks that are made of things that were living, pieces of those things that were once living, that have been cemented and glued together. Okay, these are formed by organic activity, and we classify these by composition, what they're made up of. Some characteristics of sedimentary rocks are when they are clastic, they're composed of sediments or clasts, and they're usually rounded and sorted during erosion by running water, wind, and waves, which we'll talk about more when we talk about our weathering unit. So clastic are rocks that are composed of any sediment that is not from anything biologic. And these clastic rocks can contain fossils, mud cracks, ripple marks, and layering of sediments, which our next slide will show some pictures of this. Okay, here's your layering in the sandstone. Here's our mud crack. Our mud cracks are here. This is showing ripple marks that you'd see like in the bottom of a riverbed. I'm sure you've seen these before, but if the water dries up and leaves this behind, and it's able to compact and cement, you can get pieces of this. And here's showing some fossils left behind in this sedimentary rock. Where do we usually find sedimentary rocks? Sedimentary rocks are usually found at or near Earth's surface. They are not typically found deep down below, deeper in the surface, because sedimentary rocks are forming from things that are weathered or eroded from other material, so broken down rock, and those processes happen at Earth's surface. So they're usually not buried very deep. Usually they're also found under large bodies of water, since that's typically where sedimentary rocks are formed. Bodies of water like rivers and streams will carry the pieces that have been broken down from bigger rocks into the bottom of a lake or bottom of the ocean. Okay. We're going to be going over and coloring two reference tables that go along with this unit. There's some practice questions that for the reference table. You can give them a shot if you'd like. They're right on page 19. Otherwise, we're going to be going over the reference tables in class. So, see you next time.